Tour Junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the 2024 Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches betting preview. I'm DB, Tour Junkies. I'm going to step aside here before we talk about the Cognizant. We are gonna talk about what transpired this past week in Mexico. I'm going to give it up to our boy Pat Perry. I think this is a team win, but
It is.
It is, oh, snap. The shake.
Jake Knapp.
Take over.
Let me just say, first off, I like that. It is. Oh, there. Thank you, Tony. Yes, that was me after the win.
Still you right now. If you stood up right
now,
now,
I don't want to stand up past this level.
Yeah, you got to hold your right
here. But listen,
hold on, stand up, show that shirt again. People can get that shirt.
Yeah.
On tourjunkies.com right now. That is lit. Look at that. Yeah. Look at his bicep.
Great shirt. There's actually a color scheme for the Anaheim Ducks, which Jake is a big fan of. But what?
He's sponsored by him.
Yeah, he's sponsored also. Listen, it was a team win between us, DB, but also it was a TJ Nation win. I think. A lot of people tailed that bet, and there were a lot of people on Jake Knapp last week. We weren't the only ones.
Oh yeah,
but
win.
I mean, I don't think anybody else has the special relationship that we do, or especially that I do with Jake. And so I was happy to see this win. I was very nervous yesterday. I was almost as nervous as I get like watching a Georgia football game. I was all. I mean, DB was getting text. You were getting texts from me like, "Oh, it's over. It's not going to happen. He's not winning." I was so upset about. I mean, those first few holes were very shaky. As good as he looked with his irons and driver on Saturday, it was that bad on Sunday, and then as bad as his short game was on Saturday, it was fantastic on Sunday. I mean, it saved him. He had 9 up and downs yesterday, but came through with the win. Valimaki, by the way, I think is a great guy. I think he's a good personality too, to be honest. I like what he showed out there. Just kind of,
Yeah. It was quite the dichotomy of final round pairing. You had like 180 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal and Jake Knapp, and then you had like bag of milk Sammy Valimaki walking around, and then their swings are just so different, and it's just like a, it was different. I mean, the tour couldn't stop falling all over themselves about Jake being a bouncer. Pat, did you know he was a bouncer? Did you know?
I think he was a bouncer.
Which, I don't know. Like at some point, we're gonna get a chance to talk to Jake, and I can't wait to ask him, about his bouncer time in that 9 months or whatever. Like, plenty of people are bouncers and don't ever like really fight anybody. And the tour acted like he was a UFC fighter, and
he throwing people out every night.
Yeah, like he's freaking, he's freaking Sean Strickland, and he just decided to be good at golf all of a sudden and take it back up. I don't know. They couldn't stop themselves. And then you had Sammy, just kind of boom, 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 boom. Like every time he was walking down the fairway and they show his B cups bouncing, I'm like just thinking, I hear the tubas in my head.
Yeah, he had that stroll to him. But by the way,
for you to say that about a Georgia game, we've been sweating golfers for 9 years now. I have never heard you say that about an outright.
Oh,
because we both know how we both are sweating a Georgia game.
Yeah, I was quite nervous. But listen, when the broadcast DB started comparing his swing to Freddie Couples and then did a side by side, I can't even tell you what things happened. I mean,
oh man, dude, I didn't even think about that. I not even think about that.
I was beside myself. Fell out of the couch.
You swooned? Did you swoon? Did you
I was swooning. There was things, there was feelings in my bodies that happened. I mean, it was just I didn't know what to do. I couldn't believe it was happening. So, and the comparisons of the swings it was quite uncanny.
God, both of them ladies' men, kind of, like the
Yeah.
ladies loved
Hmm.
Freddie, still do. Um, yeah, I'm fired up about it, man. And listen, I will say this about the win. We talked about Jake extensively on the betting show. Talked about him extensively in the Discord. I did a Discord show with Kenny McAndress on Wednesday, and Jake had already been bet down to 35. And he had steamed right away. Like since Monday morning, he's steamed. And we talked about that happening on the DFS show Monday night. But Kenny was like, dude, I want this Jake Knapp guy. I want it to happen. But I just think now I've missed it, and I just don't know if I want it at 35. And I said, Kenny, I hear you. And I say that. I say that about guys, certainly. But there's a different, like, if you're doing this for fun, which we are, this is for fun. There is a different, it hits different when it's a guy that you really like and you really want to pull for and you're a fan of. It's like my Luke List argument from a couple years ago, and I just could not wait on Luke List to finally win. It's like, well, I like him so much, and I'm going to pull for him, and I do believe in him, and he is steamed for a reason. Like whether it turns out that he wins or not, people believed in the talent, believed what he did at Torrey Pines, believed how he fit the golf course in Mexico. The field's weak. Like, so there are reasons behind it. But I told Kenny, I said, dude, and I said this on his Discord, I said, but think about how bad you're going to hate yourself if on Sunday evening he wins and you say, I didn't do it because I missed 10 points, right? Right. Like I couldn't get him at 45, or I would have done it at 40, but not at 35. Like, I get that if it's a player that you have reservation on, or you just don't love, or what, you could take it or leave it if he gets it done. But for a guy you're a fan of, I think like it just, and Kenny's was devastated. He missed that last yesterday.
I bet
He's
he was.
devastated. But a lot of the community was on Jake Knapp. But this is another thing I wanted to say, and then I'll be done. If you're on golf Twitter, if you're in golf Twitter betting DFS land, which obviously we are, I tell you what irritates me more than anything, and it's very subtle, and I'm not sure why it irritates me, unless I just think it. I don't know why people do it. Why do people shame like good players that make sense? Okay. And a lot of people are on them, right? Like, I feel like that happens. And then there are a lot of other people on Twitter that starting on like Tuesday or Wednesday, all they can do is shame the Jake Knapp slappies, or the the whoever this week slappies, or the dummies, or the whoever. And sometimes when you start to see that, you start to second guess yourself, and you start to go, am I slappy? Like, and that's dumb. But I also don't understand why people just feel the need to, it's betting. Like, we can all win together. We can all win together. It's not DFL. We can all win together. And why would you just shame people for just everybody kind of seeing the same thing, and like the writing on the wall, and the guy should win, and there's reasons behind it. Like, we're not all blindly following damn Cam Young. We're not all that stupid.
Oh,
but
of course not.
But I don't like that. And I saw some of that this week. I saw the Jake Knapp's, and then when something like this happens, you look real stupid. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
it's golf. Like, Jake Knapp could have gone out there and looked like Taylor Pendrith, which I had almost like 80% Taylor Pendrith in DFS. So it was not a profitable week for me in DFS. But I don't know. That just irritates me. And I saw it with Jake Knapp, and I was happy to see Jake Knapp get it across the board and a lot of the community be behind.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it too, that we can all win. That's the fun part about it. I don't, just because so many people are on Jake Knapp doesn't make it any more or less special to get the win and have fun with it, win a little money, and enjoy a guy that you like seeing play win. The whole slappy thing drives me crazy. I'm like, all right, what? So those people now, like you said, look like idiots because they were the dummies. But at least they got their tweets out there,
Yeah.
about the slappies out there.
Listen, it was fun. It was a really fun ride. We're gonna have Jake Knapp on the show here pretty soon. Hopefully, he doesn't make the podcast world tour before he comes on here. But if you're watching on YouTube, we'd love for you to drop a comment, questions you'd love for us to ask Jake Knapp. Hit the like button, subscribe to the content if you have not already. We want to thank our friends at Swannies. I'm rocking this Swannies polo right here. Get a little flash of floral right here.
Nice.
And you can too. You can hit up some Swannies. Go to swannies.co. Link is in the description of the YouTube video and the podcast. Promo code TJ25 for 25% off your entire order. And you can use that over and over again. We gave out some Swannies cash, some promo codes last week. It was a good time. And we'll be giving out some more. So check them out. Link in the description, swannies.co. All right, Pat. It was yet again another oh, by the way, I forgot a big teaser. There's a video coming at the end of this show. God, how could I forget this? There's a video coming at the end of this show that one of us worked hard on and embarrassed themselves for. And it's relevant to something else going on in the golf world tonight. And you're going to want to make sure you watch that. So stick with us and catch that at the end. But before that, obviously, we're going to get to our favorite outright bets, a couple fades, and our top 26 pack. And let's start it with the season-long update. Yet again, I second-guess myself with Ryan Fox, and you're waffling and him not being 30-1. He was 35, and should I allow it? Should I not? I decided to allow it because then I thought, well, if I don't allow it and he, trunk slams, I'm going to be mad for second-guessing myself. I Uno reversed my brain, and that's your third miscut fade in a row as Ryan Fox misses the cut.
You're not going to give me any more putts the rest of the way, are you? You're not giving me any 3-footers. I have to put them all out, don't I?
Not anytime soon. Now, I don't even know. I had Griot. I don't
think he was that great. He may have been top 25, but I don't think it was that great.
He was up there at one point, and I was like, God dang it. Here we go. Griot T34. That's good. These weeks don't hurt me. They don't hurt me.
$4,000. Okay. It's not a big deal. Hurt. I am excited I got another miscut from the guy, but
Yeah. So Pat's at about 1.7 million. Jeez, there's a 3 in front of him. I didn't even remember there'd be a 3 in front of it. Oof. Okay. So you're about half of what I am right now. So yeah. But we've got a couple of elevated events coming, major season upon us. That's where crap can really get difficult. And the names are going to be stronger. It's going to be hard to pick fades there. So I believe you have the honors on the tee, Mr. Perry, and you get to decide who you are fading first, shorter than 30-1 for the season-long bet.
Okay. I think this one may surprise you.
Is he actually 30-1? Is he like 40-1?
No, there's no doubt about this one. Okay. I do think I might be giving you a door opening here by choosing this guy and letting you take someone else who I think you could also take. But I'm going to go with Cam Young.
Dude, I actually thought about taking Cam Young.
I'm going to fade Cam Young this week. I think that, when you look at this golf course and how difficult it is, it is certainly when you're a guy like Cam, you can be a little bit shaky off the tee. He's 51st in this field in driving accuracy. The approach game hasn't been, fantastic. But he has he played here in 2022 and had a T16, and he's been playing well lately. He's coming off of 2 straight top 20 finishes. But I think I'm going to go with Cam Young up here. Now, there's not a ton of choices, but that's who I'm going to go with.
I actually have I had Cam Young on the short list. I agree. I think 20-1 Cam Young is a stupid bet.
I don't like the number at all. Yeah. It's almost like they just said, hey, we got to put somebody up here.
Somebody has to go. Yeah, somebody has to go right here. Even if you like Cam Young, and listen, you could say DB's hedging right here. If he wins, I stand by the fact that 20-1 Cam Young in one of the wildest, least predictive golf courses we have had on the PGA Tour. 20-1 Cam Young, who has not gotten it done on the PGA Tour in all these starts on all these courses that are so much better for him. 20-1 is a stupid bet. It's a dumb bet. So I completely agree with the fade. Can I just say, like, a part of me just for the content angle and just to be wild, a part of me kind of wants to take Rory.
I know. I knew you were going to go there.
A part of me just wants to take Rory. But I can't do that. Like that would be foolish. You know what I mean? That'd be foolish. Like I can't take Rory when there's like betas in this range, kind of like not betas, but just yeah. Anyway, God dang it. I think it's gonna be Minwoo Lee again. I can't stop fading Minwoo Lee, and it's paid off. It's paid off all year.
Yeah.
The guy can't hit his irons, and somehow last year at this place, he finished. He finished 20. What did he finish? 26th. And I don't know how he did this, and it does concern me a little bit. He gained almost 4.5 strokes off the tee here last year. That's hard to do. That's quite hard to do at PGA National. I did the full course preview breakdown show. You can check that out on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. About 25 minutes, everything you need to know, nothing you don't. Reviewed some course data from our friends at Bet the Number. Opened up, shared my screen, showed the early model and some names that I thought were interesting. And when you look at the course data on Bet the Number, there's not a ton of people gaining a lot of strokes off the tee here because it's kind of a positional, like you've got to get it in the fairway. You've got to avoid hitting it in the water, making these big numbers off the tee. And then there's also a lot of big numbers lurking on approach shots here because even if you get it in the fairway, you are still dealing with water on a lot of these holes. And that is concerning considering that Minwoo and his iron play continues to be absolute trash. So I'm going to bank on Minwoo continuing to pay off in the fade department. Tony says it's the third time I've faded him.
Yeah.
And it's worked out every time. So
I mean, yeah, it's been a good one. I thought you were going to go with Fitzy, who was my other option that I was looking at, but I actually kind of like, even though Fitzy's been up and down this year, there's a part of me that likes him. I don't think I like him as a bet, but I'm worried about him enough to not fade him. So
yeah, I kind of agree. It feels like especially difficult course, if the wind kicks up a good bit, like it does feel like it better suits Fitzy. Yeah, but I think both were in consideration there. So all right, so we've talked about some of the guys we don't like up in this range. I'm sure even you aren't interested in betting Rory at 650 plus 650. So who do you like in this 30-1 range or less?
Well, there's not a whole lot to look at. I think two guys to me jump out a little bit. One is Russell Henley at 25-1. Obviously, an excellent record here. Very good course fit. He's certainly a guy that I think can could play well this week. We haven't seen him a ton this year. He is coming off top 25 at the Genesis. I guess he was at the Pebble Beach before that, and then the Sony. But I do like Henley at 25-1, and DB. Tom Kim 30-1 is probably my only other option. I think Tom Kim is could be a really good play this week, and certainly when you look at the BTN model, he's checking boxes whether it's approach around the green. We've got an approach bucket in there from 125 to 200 yards. You got a lot of longer irons into some of these greens. So Tom Kim, bogey avoidance is another huge one I think that we're looking at this week. Yep. He checks a box there too. So Tom Kim and Henley would be my two favorites up here.
I think Henley. I like Henley. I don't. For some reason, I can't get past. I don't know, and I guess he's probably won. Did he? Am I mistaken? Did he win last year? Did he win?
Yeah, he won in the. You remember I had him. He won in the Shriners, I believe.
Oh no, he won Worldwide Technology in 2022. Okay. What?
That's not his last win.
Russell Henley?
Oh, Henley. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking about
God
Henley.
damn
For some reason, I just feel like I just don't trust him closing the door very well. And at 22, like I love firing on Henley when he's like 40 or 50 or 70. I don't like it at 22.
Isn't he still? Is he? Okay. Well, I was looking at 25-1, but I'll stick with it.
Even
So.
that. Tom Kim won the Shriners, and I was gonna
That's
say,
who I thought you for some reason were on. So.
yeah, I was gonna say I like the Tom Kim play. I did the first look show in the Discord this morning, and Tom was one that I didn't like necessarily say I'm going in on, but I do like it. I can't, for some reason though, like my fingers hovered over the button like to fire it. But I do trust a little bit more of Tom to close the door and win one, and it feels like a good event for him. It feels like a good spot for him. But my favorite guy in here is Eric Cole. Like I don't know how in the world, in what world has all of golf Twitter and golf betting, nation been firing on Eric Cole for the last 12 months since he almost took down Chris Kirk here last year. And now we're not going to fire on him at 30-1 or 28-1. I don't care. Like we caught him in the Discord this morning at 35. I think it's an absolute hammer. I mean, he checks plenty of boxes. I'm grateful for the 35-1 first look show this morning, but even at 28, I like him. I like him as good as I like anybody in this range.
I agree. I actually had him. I thought he was still at 35-1, so I had him in the next range. So I can't really.
You got to refresh the.
I got to refresh, I guess. If I had known that, I would have put him up here too. I totally agree. I mean, the win for him, it just seems. I'm just surprised it hasn't.
It's
gotten
imminent.
Here yet.
It has to be imminent,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
and he could. It is. He could miss the cut here, like by 4 shots. That's how wild PGA National is. In fact, I want to throw this little nugget out there. I looked at the last 2 years leaderboards, Pat. 44 players over the last 2 years have finished in the top 20. Okay. Of those 44 players, 22, half, did not have a top 25 in the previous 5 weeks leading up. Now, that doesn't mean that they didn't have a top 25 in their previous 5 starts, but that means they had not played or they did play and not have a top 25 finish coming in. Half. The same number, half, did not have a top 25 in the previous 5 years at the Honda. So, like, recent form and course history at this place, when you add in the wind, when you add in all the water, all the big numbers that lurk, if you get a bad bounce or you have one bad swing or you have an off day, when you add all that in here, there is a ton of variance. We'll probably talk about that even some more on the DFS show. But something to note about Honda, if you aren't familiar, Cognizant, excuse me. Also, Do you know what Cognizant is? What the company is or does, Pat?
It feels like a drug company.
I mean, I said this morning on the Discord show, it's got to be some sort of wiener medicine, right? There's got to be a pecker pill, right?
Either that or it's like
if your wiener ain't cognizant, you trying to get something or trying to do something, pop a Cognizant, Tom, and all of a sudden, your dick's got a high IQ and it can get it done. What you say, girl? What? Perfect drop, Tony.
That was good. With Cognizant. Or it's like a data company. They make your company cognizant of things that you don't know that you need to be cognizant of.
So they're spying on us. They're getting all our data and sell it to, some horrible dictator.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. That's enough of that.
I thought you were going to tell me what Cognizant is.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to know. Actually, nobody say anything.
I don't want to know yet either.
Don't type it out. I don't want to know.
By the way, as variable as this golf tournament is, the crazy thing is, and I don't know the exact if this is true or not, but I'm just going to say it. This is probably one of the golf tournaments that we have hit the winner on the most.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. We have hit the last 3 winners, and we've hit 4 of the last 5 winners at this place.
Yeah.
Now, also, I'm glad you bring that up, Pat, because this is the 1-year anniversary of
The butterfly,
the butterfly
which
effect.
was, I was on a long drought
Mhm.
that extended out from 2020 or 22 into 2023, and I decided that something needed to be done. I needed to change things up. So I drew a butterfly on my face
Mhm.
and to get somehow that was going. I think it was a rebirth type thing.
Yeah.
And we hit Chris Kirk as an outright winner. I think he was 35-1, somewhere in there. I didn't have to do that this week, thanks to Jake Knapp. But
It's what I was saying a couple weeks ago, the circadian rhythm thing, your circadian rhythm right around this tournament, it just pops. Actually, ours jointly, because we
yeah,
both had tremendous success here. I think, did I hit Straka the year before? I think I hit or
no,
did
I
you hit
hit
Straka?
Straka.
You hit Straka,
You hit Keith Mitchell.
I hit Keith
We
Mitchell.
both hit Matt Jones,
Both had Matt Jones.
which
And
was the
Straka, Mitchell, and Jones were all three-figure over 100-1.
yeah.
Um, I am it feels like I'm in a drought because I mean, I hit a winner in the fall, but for this season, I'm down. I mean, even with your unit allocation, you're still down,
I'm
and
still down.
most golf bettors are this year, considering the guys who have won. So that's the only reason I'm not like, I because if I'd gone this long into and I haven't had a winner yet, I'd be starting to like, break glass in case of emergency. What am I drawing on my face this time? But I think just considering how the golf season has gone so far, it's I don't if you're out there and you're like me, you haven't had a winner yet, don't panic. Don't panic. It's okay. You're gonna be okay. And I do feel like I have some partial. I'm gonna take some partial credit for Jake Knapp. I mean, I've been talking about Jake Knapp just like you have.
Yeah, I
You
think
just ended up on your card, not mine.
it does not feel like a drought. I'll attest to that for you.
Oh, thank you.
And a lot of it is because of the fact that I didn't feel like it for me either. Just the way the winners were coming out this year. But anyway,
All right, let's move on. Next range, that up to 75-1 range is what we're looking at. So you had Eric Cole when he was still 35. He is no longer. Keith Mitchell is the first click for me. He's currently at 35. We got him at 40 on FanDuel this morning in the Discord chat on in the Nut Hut. So I'm grateful I got him at 40, but I would still take him at 35. He's trending. He needs to continue playing well, get himself in the right position for the rest of the year to get into the events he wants to get in. Obviously, a past champ here, T9 in 2022. I think Keith Mitchell is a solid play up here. Stefan Jaeger is when Jaeger is at these kind of numbers, I'm interested. Now, 35, he's starting to creep into the nope, I think I'll be fine to miss it territory. But he was 45 this morning. Got him at 45 in the Discord. But I mean, even at 35, like you can't deny how well he's playing. Two third place finishes in his last 3 starts. T14 here last year. He's hitting it well. He really is. But he is starting to creep into that. Like, I don't know if Jaeger's going to actually win one at 35-1. Those are the first couple for me. I got some more in here, but I'll let you kind of pick up.
okay. Well, I had Mitchell too. I do like him at 35. I like Shane Lowry again this year at 35-1. It's funny, I had Kirk and Lowry on the card last year, if I recall. So I had a good chance to hit with either one of them because Lowry was up there. I think with a potential chance to win. Yeah, he finished T5, but he was definitely up there last year. I like him again, as well as Kirk. I like Kirk again this year.
Hey.
I think
I feel like a defending champ winner at this place is just like never going to happen because
know,
it's
but
just all the variance.
you're probably right, but I still think it's a good fit for Kirk, and maybe it happens this year. But I do like Kirk. Another one up here. I mean, what do we? I just think Pavon Machu is. I mean, he just feels like he's going to be in play every week for me. I mean, the guy is. He's going to check a ton of boxes for you when you're pulling up your models this week. Whether that's par 3 scoring, bogey avoidance. He's a fantastic putter. Third in the field in approach. Obviously, his recent form is fantastic. Followed up that win at the Farmers with a third place finish at Pebble Beach. On a good course fit. I do like Machu this week as well. And I have a few others too, but I'll let you chew on those. And I also want to ask you about Berger, because I feel like Berger, there's a chance there for him.
Yeah. I think there is. There's a lot of names in this range. This is by far my favorite range, and so got to make some decisions in here. I do like Berger. He was 45 this morning. He's now 35. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's starting to get into the weird spot there with Berger.
Have we seen enough? That's really my question. Have we seen enough to go ahead and pull the trigger on betting Berger, which we have not done yet?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that you have. The reason you would fire on him is because you believe in the talent. You believe eventually we're going to see enough, and eventually he's going to be back to Daniel Berger, and you're wanting to catch him before that happens, because his number is going to be longer, and he's a Jupe life guy. I mean, he's going to be shitting on his own toilet this week, which a lot of guys are. I mean, Shane Lowry, I think, lives in this area too. So many guys in the Palm Beaches, Jupiter territory around here that are going to be quite comfy. Obviously, Berger's played well here. That may be part of it. But I think at 35 down to 30, you're starting to just kind of get a little too short for me. I think I'm out on Pavon. I was in the chat this morning. I brought him up, and Spaz, our boy Spaz, moderator Spaz, kind of talked me out of him a little bit, just with the Bermuda experience. We know this is some grainy Florida Bermuda, and so you got a DP World Tour guy coming over and getting. I'm sure it's not his first taste of grainy Bermuda, but probably doesn't.
Did pretty good on that POA.
Yeah.
I mean,
but POA is quite random for everyone, I feel like, whereas there is a skill to being able to read grainy Bermuda and to be able to trust the read, and then to be able to chip off of this stuff, I think, more than anything. But I do think he's potentially a great DFS play, and if you really buy into the talent, maybe a top 5 or top 10 bet even could be in the cards there for Pavon. Let's see. He's plus 450 to top 10.
Yeah. By the way, I'm showing 50 to 1 still on
okay.
FanDuel, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. See, I don't have any other books pulled up right now shopping, but a guy who pops in my model big time. He's number 6 in the model. He was 60 to 1 this morning. He is now down to 45. Adam Svensson.
Yeah.
God, I still can't forget how miserable that RSM Classic was. We were there. It was windy. It was cold. It was difficult. And Adam Svensson won that thing like it was, and I think he won it kind of handily. And not that this is going to be like cold and miserable, but windy, difficult, kind of kicky in the dick conditions. I don't know why. I mean, maybe he's a little bit like DJ, just real simple-minded and just doesn't care. But I think Svensson is interesting. But 45, he steamed a lot. He was 60, now he's 45. If you can get a better number on him, that'd be good. But, I mean, T9 here, 2022, T10 at Riviera. Didn't play really well before that. But, I mean, just kind of, I think harder golf courses, harder situations, harder conditions may be more his speed. And then you got Rasmus Højgaard there, which I don't think I want to bet, but Rasmus has been playing good on the DP World Tour. He's in this range. Then I start to get down into the 50 range, like Alex Noren and Bo Hostler are a couple names. Hostler, I'm going to keep firing on. Hostler's my new Luke List. I'm pot committed. He is improving. I think the irons are improving. He didn't have the best iron outing at Riv, but we're starting to see more peak iron spots for Bo, and I believe in the putter. Obviously checks the box there. He's not making big numbers and bogeys like he used to. Checks the box there for me. So I'm going to keep firing on Bo Hostler at 50. And I said this morning, I don't think he's moved, because I think Noren was 50 to 1 this morning. Like, I don't feel like Noren's going to get a bunch of steam.
Gosh.
but in like a just dirty, just hard-nosed, scramble your ass off, like 12 to 14 under winds, windy conditions. Like it just feels like Noren, who has competed and come close to closing out his first PGA Tour victory in the last 12 months. It feels like this could be one where he gets it done.
Man, I'm so glad you said that.
You need confirmation there. You needed a buddy. You need a Noren buddy.
I kind of needed a Noren buddy.
He's one you have to take a friend with. Like it's almost like a
Yeah.
rape whistle. Like you don't go into that parking lot. You don't go into the Noren parking deck without a rape whistle and probably a buddy, a flashlight, maybe a can of mace, firearm if you're in one of those kind of, if you can do that. Just because it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel safe when you're there alone. You wouldn't want your wife walking through the Noren parking deck alone. You know what? You don't let your buddy do it. It's vulnerable. So we can go together. We can both, and we'll blow our rape whistles when he ejects on Friday.
It'll be very loud, screeching.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd be talking about whistles, but listen, I'm totally Noren. This is a week 2 again where it's sort of like a gut.
Yeah.
You got to have a little gut feel to it, and that has seemed to work for you and I on a lot of the plays that we've had that have won. And I think Noren is one of them. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and say that Noren is going to be on both of our cards.
Oh, God, you're making me do that.
Yeah. No, because we're going in together on the buddy system. We got the whistles. We
could take the long way around. We could take the long way.
No. We've got the whistles. They are tied around our necks.
God, you're making me commit to putting him on the card.
Yeah, he is going on the card. 55 to 1 is what I'm seeing him at right now. Is that what he's at? 55 to 1. 55 to 1 on FanDuel. 55 to 1. He's going on the cards. We got the whistles.
The rape whistle bet of the week.
I mean, come on. We don't ever do this. We rarely say we're each going to have the same player on the card, like on the show.
I wish you were here in person. If this were the player show that we're gonna do in person, and we could just kind of hold hands and do it and like post the cards together. All right, I'll do it. What's a half unit on Noren gonna be?
Oh no, we're going 1 unit.
No, I know. No, you're not gonna dictate my units.
We'll go a half unit.
Tony said, "Hold hands and blow each other's whistle." The commentary that we get from Tony behind the scenes on this show every week is, I wish we could have a running record of it. It would be funny to keep running records of the private chat between Tony on this software that we use, and then like look at it at the end of the year when there's no context about who he's talking about, and you're just scrolling, reading it. All right, Pat, come on.
I can't believe Noren is on probably the first ever.
Link arms. Nope. Other. All right, there we go.
Wow. Okay. Anybody else? By the way, I'm with you on Svensson, although he's another one kind of like Noren that just.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I feel like you need another whistle.
It's just the rape whistle range.
Yeah, but
who else should we add?
In this range, there's not a whole lot else. I mean, it's really kind of the top end. Like Denny McCarthy he could go in the whistle on the whistle train also. But
yeah, I'm not. We talked about him on the First Look show this morning. I'm not interested. I don't believe in him.
Yeah,
I don't believe in him.
Okay.
So, I think it's probably it for me in this range. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about some bombs. Get to the top 20s. Got that video is coming up. You're not going to want to miss it. Shout out to our friends at SoBet for just being awesome, building an amazing product, an amazing betting community. If you like to bet on sports, any sport, they've got you completely covered on SoBet. All of them are covered on SoBet. Link in the description of the video or the podcast. You can scan the QR code as well here on the YouTubes. And yeah, listen, you can use code TJ Trial if you want to try your first month for free. NBA action, March Madness. They are going to be. I've heard about some content coming out of SoBet for March Madness. It's going to be madness. Okay, you're not going to want to miss it. Of course, we have our exclusive golf bets that go up on SoBet every single week. The DB FanDuel round robin, placement round robin goes down there. The MFK bets of the week based on DB's bet the number model go down there. Broke even this week. No big deal. So, it was kind of a struggle. Pendrith shot me in the arm, in the chest, in the head, all of the above. But yeah, check it out. Our friends at SoBet. Great betting community. Great handicappers, over 60 handicappers for every sport you can think of on SoBet. We appreciate them for supporting us. All right, let's get to this next range. I start to lose it here. I mean, I obviously, with all this variance, like we could nail some triple digit winners. I just don't know that I've nailed them all down yet. I know that the first bet in here at 80-1 is Seabez, and I am not usually a Seabez guy.
No.
But dang it, if he is not hitting his irons, fantastic. He's always a pretty solid putter. I'm in on Seabez at 80-1. I think he's a send.
I actually don't mind that. I'm kind of surprised you went there, but I don't mind it. That's all you got in this range?
No, that's my first. I mean, I'm not crazy about, like, Shink to me just feels like a guy at 100-1 that he feels like he's not going to check a ton of boxes. He's not good in my model, and the form has been hit or miss. His record here has been hit or miss, but at least I feel like at 100-1, I get a guy who kind of does like everything okay, and he's got a good short game, and he's been through the fire late on a Sunday a couple times. I mean, credit to Jake Knapp here, because you could see, I mean, you were texting me about it. I didn't get to watch it because I had the kitchen faucet repair from hell that I had to do on Sunday, and I didn't get to watch the front nine. But you could see Jake Knapp and Sammy Valimaki, like, you could see the pressure of closing the door on a Sunday. And poor Jake had to deal with the tour, like, slobbing his knob the whole weekend about being a bouncer and being a 29-year-old.
He was a bouncer?
And yeah, did you know that? But all the pressure that those guys had and dealing with it, it was tough. Like, had Jake not built up such a lead, that he would have opened the door for a lot more people other than not just Sammy Valimaki. He would have opened the door for a handful of guys quickly on Sunday. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about when I say, like, sometimes I just want to see guys go through it before we fire on him. Now, Jake had built up enough of a lead. He calmed down. He closed the door. Valimaki didn't do himself a whole lot of favors after he made that eagle on the short par 4, and then it kind of like tailed off. But, Adam Schenk is a guy who is lost in a playoff. He's come close to missing out on a playoff or two. And I just feel like at 100-1, it just feels like with his mixed form, mixed history, it feels like a Honda, like a Cognizant Classic winner.
Yeah, I agree. As a matter of fact, a little note here, and I was going to talk about this, DB, with Adam Schenk, so I'm glad you brought him up. As you know, and producer Tony knows, PGA Tour radio is on the radio when I get in my truck way too often, way too much. It should not be on the radio as much as it is. And Courtney Schenk, I think is her name, Adam's wife, was on a show last week, and she was talking about Adam.
Is this keeping up with the Shinks? What are we doing?
I don't know. She just happened to come on a show, and this was a mental note that I made because she was very adamant that Adam does not necessarily like being on the West Coast to play. And he's further away from his family, and they travel a lot with him, I guess, because they've got a young kid. And he gets way more comfortable when he gets on the East Coast in Bermuda and Florida. And she mentioned Honda, even though it's not like he's shown the best history here. But that's something. The strokes gained home life gets a lot better when he gets over to the East Coast. I think that's something to note with him maybe going forward. But I do like Adam Schenk, and he is his I think I've seen him at 110-1 on FanDuel. DB, nice. Look, if we're gonna get Jake Knapp last week, why can we not get Rio Hisatuncier this week. Okay, we got to get Rio this. That's a Tuesday. So I think Rio is about 90-1 on FanDuel, maybe 80-1 on DK. I like Rio. Look, I mean, he's not going to. The kid's just a player, so you're not going to have enough stats and history and form and whatever else to go off of. But the kid's a player. I like Rio a lot this week. Also, Hubs. I'm going to go back to the well with Mark Hubbard. I think he's another guy that's been playing fantastic. He's at 110-1.
You've been in absolute heat for Mark Hubbard lately.
Man. Well, I mean, look at him. He's been playing well.
I feel like he's kind of opposite Shank. Like Hubs loves the West Coast and he comes out here and he's like, okay. And he's played a bunch.
But he's played a bunch here, man. Like he's played here 4 years in a row and he's got some good finishes.
Yeah. I might bail on Hubs at this point.
Why would you do such a thing?
I mean, I love him to death, but okay. I think that's it for me in this range. Over 125-1. You ready for that?
Yes. Go ahead first because my screen I lost it for some
okay. I mean, I love Carson Young. I keep talking about this kid.
Like it.
He's the better C Young. He was 200-1 this morning on FanDuel in the Discord show. We hammered that. I'm showing 130 on DraftKings right now. I talked about him last week for the Mexico Open. I said if I'm going to get a short knocker on my card or in the DFS lineups, it's going to be Carson Young. He finished T8. He ain't got no business finishing T8 in Mexico. But that driving accuracy, the mid irons, that's going to come in quite handy here. I love Carson Young this week at a big number. If he's over 100-1, I think you hit it. I'm a big fan. And then I'm going to drop down. This is kind of a guy that came up briefly in the Monday morning show, but the more I've looked at it since then, the more I think I might be in. I haven't bet him in quite some time. I bet him a lot last year, but he's 180-1 on DraftKings right now. And when I refreshed my model, I was like, how did I miss his name? He's 5th in the model, coming off a T19 in Mexico, another shorter hitter that did good in Mexico. Irons were clicking. Fellow Augusta boy, our buddy, Siggy, 180-1. I feel like this could be a Grayson Sig spot. And then I think both of us are going to agree that Andrew Novak at 180, or he was 220 this morning. I mean, the guy's irons are dialed at the moment. Back-to-back 8th-place finishes, Mexico and Waste Management. Why would you not continue to play Andrew Novak? I mean, he was 220 this morning. Like that's insane.
I wonder if he's shortened from that on FanDuel because that's where he's still showing 220 on FanDuel.
That's too far. That's too long considering how good he's hitting it right now.
Yeah.
So those are a couple names. I'm sure I'll have a few more. We'll toss out in the Discord or something. But those are my favorites in this range.
Yeah. So Novak for sure. For me, I actually put a little note in the Nut Hut about my thoughts on him. But just because I like that number too at 220. Totally agree on Carson Young. As a matter of fact, I already fired in on him, and I think I got 150-1. I do like Carson Young a lot. So I think he's another one in this range that you can look at. That may be it. I was kind of, those were two of my favorites. For some reason, damn it, Sam Ryder keeps popping in my head, but and he's got a few, he's like in the top 25 of the BTN model.
Yeah, he checks the boxes.
I mean, he's very accurate off the tee. He's been good on approach lately. His putting's just been horrendous, which is just absolutely killing him. I mean, you look at the, just the way he's been putting lately. It's not going to get you in any kind of wins, but this feels like a pretty decent spot for him if he can putt well. So I think Ryder. I'll go ahead and say Ryder, 180-1.
Very confident. Very, very confident.
Yeah, it was a very confident play right there.
All right. Let's get to the top 20 locks and bombs, and then we will wrap up with this insane video that I hope is any good. I don't know. Decent week last week, and salvaged thanks to your Andrew Novak bomb top 20 hitting at plus 450. We also had Jaeger at plus 130, and we had Mitchell at plus 160. Hopefully you took Mitchell on BetMGM because they pay out in full for ties. He was still plus money. He may not have been plus 160, but he finished T19 tied with a few other guys in that top 20 market. So let me just say, if you are betting placements, I saw another horror story on Twitter this week about, I think it was a DraftKings payout on a placement. The placements are just, you're gonna get screwed and get real pissed with a placement on DraftKings and FanDuel because of their dead heat rules and the way that they apply them. So, by the time when we record these shows on Monday, BetMGM's usually slower to put their placement lines out, so we don't ever have them. But you can guarantee that most of these bets that we talk about, we go and get them on MGM because it's just better. I'll start with my locks. It's Eric Cole plus 150. It's Jaeger at plus 180. I would guess that both of those come in 20 points so shorter on MGM, but both in the plus money territory. And I'll love both of them. I mean, no reason to stop on either one of those guys playing well. And both of them played well here before. So I'll go Cole and Jaeger plus 150, plus 180.
All right. I like it. I'll go with Tom Kim at plus 150. I like that. And then another guy we really haven't talked about, or we haven't at all, Sung J M plus 175.
Ooh, you're buying Sung Jae?
I'm going to go in
Sung
on
Jae
Sung
looks
Jae.
broken.
I don't know, man. How broken is he? What would you?
It's bad. It's been bad in 2024. I feel like.
What
What was his top 20 number again? What did you
plus
say?
175.
Okay. I mean, dude, it's been pretty bad. Like, he's not hitting it well, like Sung Jae normally hits it.
Yeah, I could
Will's
just
got to figure him out.
again. Look, like you've said plenty of times, there's been crazy things on this golf course, and you come to a place you've won on and have been familiar with, and who knows what happens. I don't know, but I do like Sung Jae.
All right, who's your bomb? 4 to 1 or longer?
I'm going back to Novak.
Okay,
6 to
I
1.
think you should. Yep.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do that, and I totally agree. And I'm going to go Cam Young. I would never. Carson Young at 4 to 1. I think those two bets right there, 4 to 1 and 6 to 1 for those two guys on this.
I love it.
Considering how well they're playing, feels really good.
I would get those now. When you are listening to this show, whether it's live right now or in the future, take it while you're listening.
And if they're in the 3s at MGM, take it. I see our boy, I just checked the chat, our boy Byron, Model Maniac, Bet365 also has their placement markers paying ties in full. That's great.
Good.
And their odds are already out. Oh, all the way up to top 40. Amazing. Oh, yeah. Shout out to our boy Vince Money March, hitting the Sunday Save Your Ass parlay that he drops every single week. Most of the time, it's on tourjunkies.com. If you can't get to the article, it'll be on his Twitter account. Got a little plus 470 3-leg parlay hit. That was nice to see. So, all right. I don't really know how to set this up all the way because I don't know what producer Tony has done with it. We can definitely debrief after and talk through some of the questions you might have and some of the behind the scenes information. But tonight is the match, another Capital One, the match playing at they're in West Palm Beach, right? Or Palm Beach Gardens or whatever, right? One or the other. What's the courses? The course, the Palms or something?
Yeah, it's like the Palms. I think it's under the lights too.
Under the lights. It's
the park. It is the park.
Here we go. It's Max Homa. It's Rory. It's Rose Zhang and Lexi Thompson in West Palm Beach. But as always with these things, there are always ancillary characters running amok, running about that Capital One will shove down our throats. Some of them better than others. For example, Marshawn Lynch, huge Marshawn Lynch guy. He was on the last one. He might have been a little stretch at times because I don't think Marshawn knows a lot about golf. But this event's cart commentator for tonight's event is none other than DJ Khaled. And we all know I think you should know, I have strong thoughts on DJ Khaled, strong opinions on DJ Khaled. So, without further ado, here is DB Khaled. Take it away.
Life is like golf. It ain't easy, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Lots of lag here. Sweet. I love technology.
Go ahead.
Yes, I love technology. All that build up.
All that built up.
Well, all right. Well, Tony's gonna see if he can figure it out. But in the meantime, I'll give you a little bit of. Jeez. So I go to Goodwill and I pick up a DJ Khaled outfit, and you know it was what it was. But then my 13-year-old Collins came with me to film, and we went to a local public course here because I, God knows, could not show my face around Champions Retreat looking like that and acting like that, because why would anybody do that? But DJ Khaled he does it all the time. But we go to this course, and this course, seriously, I mean, we went on a Saturday. It seriously 200 rounds every Saturday, like no break in the action, just foursome after foursome. And I'm wearing those shorts, that shirt, doing stuff, and it was ridiculous, but we did have a great time, and we had a lot of laughs. So all right, let's try it again. Let's see if it works again. If it doesn't work again, we'll edit it and post. I think that's what they say.
Life is like golf. It ain't easy, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
Go ahead, show them what's up. Toe to head. Toe to head. On God. Take your time. Go slow. Silicone. Silicone Cabretta. On God. Bless up. Love and light. Light and love. Did Tiger Woods play this hole? Did Tiger, what did he shoot? He shot a 4, a birdie. Look what God did.
That shirt's a 4X, by the way.
Bring out the putter! Bring out the putter!
Did you actually get a
Key
three?
alert. Beautiful is who we will be when we shine light in our darkest crevices. Look what God did! Look what he did! Another one! I call this wedge bless up. It's good. It's good to talk to your clubs. It's good to talk to your love. It's good to talk to your clubs. Let's see what I do here. See what I do. You gotta think about the blessing before the blessing, or the blessing don't know to be a blessing.
Facts.
See what I do. Go in the hole. It's beautiful. Wow. Wow. That's what my shirt's for. That's why I have this big shirt. Look what God did. Look at this bag. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this and this. This is what God did. Now, you gotta keep things on you when you're playing golf. Even though golf is good, you gotta make sure you have what you need. So at all times, you gotta keep goodies on you. Let me show you. First of all, if the sun is bright and the brightened sun is hurting your head, sometimes I keep that hat on me. I keep the hat on me. Swannies, you know? And then other times, life gets rough. Life gets rough. But you don't want to feel rough, even though life is rough. You don't want to feel rough. So I keep it smooth. I keep it smooth. Sometimes you need an extra ball marker. You gotta have an extra ball marker on the green in case maybe your buddy needs one. And you say, here, buddy. And you put that on there. I took this in the last competition I was in. Me and my boy, Drake, we won that. Cause you know why? Cause we the best. So sometimes you gotta have that. And then sometimes when the storms of life and the storms of golf are getting restless and you need peace, you keep that shell on you, baby. You listen to that ocean. You can hear it. You can hear it. And then sometimes, come here, look in the bag. you don't want the club to see you, but sometimes you just gotta have a snack. So, you might have a shrimp. You can have a shrimp. And then sometimes you just need a snack. Okay? So you gotta make sure the substance is there.
You don't keep jalapenos in a Louis bag?
Yeah.
Light and love, love and light. Golf is like life. It ain't easy, but it's beautiful. Hit this one onto the green. Oh! Life is beautiful when you shine light into the darkest crevices of your body. Life is Roblox. Don't let nobody stop you. 'Cause you ain't stopping.
Wow. Roblox. That just cracks me up.
Thank you. Thank you, God. Let's go golfing. Let's golf. Right down the middle. Thank you. Thank you to my new sponsor, the best golf data site around, Bet the Number. Bless God. Bless Bet the Number. Perrier. Got a birdie putt to tie Tiger Woods. I got you, Tiger. I got you. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. For Paul. What? Hey, Caddy, is this a par 3 again?
It's a par 3.
This is for Paul. For Paul. Perrier.
I tell you what, that was pretty funny, DB. I have to give you a lot of credit for that. You did a good job. I mean, I don't watch as many of those videos as you do, but you seem to be pretty dead on there. And now I want to watch some of them actually because I want to see when he when he maybe ate a shrimp, or when he used his glove to put sunscreen on, or I mean him driving a golf cart with Perrier, whatever it was.
Well, okay. So obviously there's some creative liberties
I know,
taken in the parody, but I think his whole freaking self is a parody on the golf course. And the Perrier is he did a thing with Gatorade, and he did like all those things he did with Gatorade, except for the golf cart thing. The Life is Roblox is a famous one because his friends like catch him backing up a golf cart over a curb and jacking up the cart, and then he rolls up and just delivers "Life is Roblox" line.
Does he really say Roblox like the game that the kids
game,
play?
not roadblocks, Roblox. And so, like, I actually had lines for this thing. Like, I had typed out lines. Tony helped me a lot. I had like a lot of typed out lines that I had to hit my marks, and Collins was helping me. He had the lines with him, and he's like, no, it's not that, it's this. And the shrimp and all that stuff that I pulled out of the bag, I don't know what he keeps in his Louis bag, but he does keep a Louis bag. There's a video, and I can't find the video, but there's a video where he literally there's just a shot of him showing his stuff, and then he just pans over to the seat, and there's just a big Louis bag with something in it in the golf cart. And he doesn't say anything about it. He just pans and just shows you. And so, I grabbed the wife's small Louis bag and just put some random stuff in there.
The full-on plate ball marker was a nice touch.
I was proud of myself for working in our partners in that whole thing. Like I thought that was good. We had a good time, and believe it or not, there's actually more clips. That's not even all the clips. So there was a few little outtakes, a few moments where Collins could not stop laughing, and I couldn't stop laughing, and or I would forget what I was supposed to say. It was actually a great time. And what was fun, man, was at the end we were riding back on the cart, and Collins goes, "Dad, that was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be." And I was like, "Well, thanks, man." Like it was a nice little. We had fun. Like he saw me being goofy, but he also laughed at me. And for a 13-year-old, if you have one, you have one, and you have a 15-year-old too. Like they kind of stop laughing at you at a certain point.
They don't laugh at me ever.
Yeah. So
Like,
to get that felt really nice, and it wasn't like a, "God, Dad, you're such an idiot. Like, why are you doing this? You're 40. You're an idiot." I mean, I did look like an idiot, but it was nice that we kind of had that moment. It was a good time. Shout out to our friends at Bartram Trail Golf Club for letting me do that, and the owner there, Jason, being a cool dude. And that's a good spot. You guys should check it out if you're coming Masters Week. Play Bartram Trail. It's a fun little track, bunch of par fives. I think it's like 5 par fives, 5 par threes, a couple short par fours. A good track. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. And honestly, I don't want to admit this, but I do think DJ Khaled is ridiculous. For some reason, like getting into the character of DJ Khaled kind of made me like move the other direction just a little bit.
you started getting a little connection there.
A little bit.
You connected a little bit.
Just like
the love and the light came into your heart a little bit.
It shined in my darkest crevices. It just kind of got me there just a little more that direction. I'm just saying. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to. It's not more than that, but yeah. So look what God did.
Look what he did. Another one. That was a funny part too when you were in there searching for golf balls. At first, I'm looking there. I was like, "What is he? Is that DB in there? What's going on?"
Oh man! All right, we'll drop some more of those things on Twitter, on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I don't know. We'll see. But it was a good time. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for having a good time with us. Thanks for rocking with us. Everybody, bring your rate whistles to the Norrin parking deck this week. All right, and let's bend over our bookies.